Hi, team. I'm Fitz Koehler, your host of the OC Marathon Show and your very noisy race announcer for the OC Marathon weekend. I am here tonight with some of our ambassadors, which is very exciting because basically we chose these characters because they're awesome. They're fun. They're in love with running. They're in love with the running community. They're a great part. They're a great addition. You know, they're people who show up and not only show up for themselves, but they show up to help their communities, great causes. They're role models for fitness. And they have really fun personalities that inspire other people to come get involved with what we're doing. So I'm super excited about that. Now, before we get to the ambassadors, I want to remind you that the OC weekend is coming up November 6th and 7th. So the evening of November 6th, that's at 4 p.m., we have the OC 5K. And then Sunday morning, November 7th, we have the OC Half Marathon. The marathon is taking a nap this year because of the COVID nonsense. We just removed the marathon for 2021. It will be back in 2022. In fact, the 2022 registrations are already open. So as you're inspired by these folks, as we're talking right there, go right there, ocmarathon.com, and register for 2022. And this year, November 6th and 7th, as usual, you can register for both races. That's the Combo Crush, and you get an extra medal, lots of bling, and that's probably why some of these people do so many races. So without further ado, I'm going to invite the guests on, and here they are, one by one. This is Mr. David Koontz. Hello, David.
Hey, Fitz, how you doing tonight?
I'm great. So happy to see you. This is Lindsey Collins.
Hi.
We got chiropractor Dave Aye.
What's up?
Good to see you, Brianna Sharp.
Hi, everyone.
And here is Yvette Cordova.
Hello.
Hello. So you guys are just a handful of the ambassadors that we have this year. And if anyone wants to meet them all, ocmarathon.com. If you look under the community tab, you'll get to meet even more of the group we have representing our Great Weight Race Weekend. But for starters, I'm just going to go around Brady Bunch style. So, Dave, you have an interesting story. You've been part of our weekend for a very long time, but you've never actually run the OC. Tell us about you.
Well, I'm a lifelong runner, and I'm thrilled with the OC Marathon because it is a race that's put on by runners for runners. And a lot of thought goes into making that weekend happen. I just love being a part of the team that makes it happen. I love being out on the bluff overlooking Newport Back Bay and cheering everybody on.
Well, we love having you work the event. Our team is incredible. So I love that you're an ambassador just because you love working the event. And one day we're going to have you put down the job part and run.
I'd love to do that. But again, it's something I love doing. I love the runners there. I love the vibe of the event. Yeah. It's just a big rolling party. You never see anybody grimacing or smirking, crying. It's just fun. It's a great place to be on a Sunday morning.
Amen to that. All right. So before we go on, I've got Jody Book saying hi and yay. And a reminder to everyone watching the show, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can use the comment section, say hello. And then I'm going to move on to Lindsey. Tell us about you, Lindsey.
Hi. My first half marathon was the OC back in 2015. And I just keep coming every year. And I think Dave nailed it by the energy, and the volunteers do such an amazing job. So thank you.
Which race are you running this year?
I am doing the half marathon.
Awesome. All right, next up, David. Oh, I keep clicking on you as if I have to. You're right there. Okay.
I'm here. Yeah, OC Marathon was my first marathon I ever did, and boy, it was that a journey. But as again Dave said, it was the community that kept me going through the whole thing. The people around, whether it was the runners, the people cheering you on, or even the staff. You know, it's just the energy was there and such a beautiful view. It is one of my favorites, and now I do the half almost annually now. So yeah,
I love it. Brianna.
Hi, everyone. I'm coming from Los Angeles. I do drive down the coast to do this race every year. You know, like Dave said, it really is a race by runners for runners, and you can really sense it at the event. And that's one of the things that's brought me back year after year. And I'll be doing the half and the 5K.
The combo crush, very good. And Brianna, how many races a year do you traditionally use or do?
Typically, I've been doing pre-COVID about 15 to 20 halves per year. It'll be a little less this year. Well, a lot less this year, but excited to get back to kind of normal cadence in 2022.
It's so funny. As a race announcer, I feel like you show up at 15 to 20 of my events every year.
I try to.
Might have to be more than that you're doing, but I'll believe you. All right. And Yvette, tell us about you.
Hello. I'm actually a first-time runner with the OC Marathon. I'm excited to represent, of course, Orange County and the community. I ran the LA Marathon in 2019, and I usually do a couple of half marathons throughout the year. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to be there.
And which race are you
continue
doing?
to run the half marathon.
The half. Okay, so everybody except for Dave and I is doing the half. Yeah. So we just had a great question from Gail. She says, what is the role of an ambassador? So I'm going to let you guys speak to it. Brianna, you first. What's the role of an ambassador?
I think we're out there to really bring, personality to the race and really show just the diversity of runners that engage in the race. So up here in Los Angeles, I talked to a lot of my local runners about it, as well as people who I know from outside of California who might be interested in coming to Southern California and looking for a local race. So it kind of makes the race a little bit more personal when you talk to an ambassador and you can hear about what their experience has been.
Yeah, agreed. And David, what about you? What's your role?
Yeah, I became a race ambassador because I want to inspire people like others have inspired me in this sport of running, and when you see those race ambassadors online, you get, motivated by, the stuff we're posting, our training habits. You see the highs and lows that all runners go through. You get to really feel that, okay, I'm not alone.
Now, you're a chiropractor, so do you promote this amongst your patients? Have you gotten any of them involved?
Yeah, I actually started a Couch to 5K program for my patients and stuff. And again, another way to get people excited, especially the most inspiring ones are people that, think that they would dream that they would never run a 5K or something that is just out of their limits, and to see them reach that is the most, rewarding feeling ever.
Absolutely. It's interesting how many people say, well, I can't run a race, or I can't do a 5K. And it's very interesting to me because as you've all seen and I witnessed from my perch at every race is that a runner right now is anyone you see at Walmart at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's our community is so diverse and we're all different sizes and colors and shapes and religions and so forth. It really, the typical runner body, maybe that look belongs on the elites up in front, but the rest of us are just the rest of us, right? Doing our thing, plugging along. And it's important for people to know that the running community, we use that word running very loosely. We've got a lot of people who run, a lot of people who run and walk, and then a lot of people who just exclusively walk.
Yeah, and still part of that community.
So out of you guys right here, how many of you walk during a race?
I have.
Me too. Yeah, I'm doing Boston in 12 days, and there will be walking. For certain, there will be walking. I feel darn good about it. Okay, so moving on, a little get to know you questions. Jump between running questions. What is your favorite book? So I'm going to go to you, Lindsey, first.
Oh gosh, I just read, oh my gosh, can I go grab it real quick?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. All right, Yvette, while she's looking.
I got it. It was Out and Back. And it's an amazing story. She has come through very hard injuries and is able to overcome that and still get out there and run. And I took it personally because I have had injuries over the years of running, and sometimes it gets discouraging. But when you read stories and people can overcome these crazy death-defying ones, like I can definitely come back and do whatever I've been through.
Absolutely. You can do hard things. That's for sure. Who's the author of that book?
It is Hillary Allen, and she is on Instagram and everywhere as well. So you can definitely pick it up on Amazon too.
Love it. Love it. All right, Dave Koontz. Who's your favorite?
Right now I'm reading a book called The Boys in the Boat, and it's a story of the Olympic rowing team in 1936 that travels from the United States to Nazi Germany to compete in the Olympics. It's a fascinating book, both in terms of what it takes to be an Olympic rower, everything you need to know about rowing, as well as the background of these people, most of whom were simply loggers or fishermen up in the Pacific Northwest. Great book.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. I would definitely pick that up. Yvette, what is your favorite book?
Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't read a running book, but I think I'm gonna get the one that Lindsey has because I'm actually going to experience my first injury, which hasn't let me down. I continue to stay active by other ways because I'm gonna do the half no matter what. But I will actually look into that book and I will be reading it.
Nice.
Good idea. And we also have a physical therapist that was on our show maybe 5 episodes ago. It's a panel discussion similar to this, but Jessica Craig, you should look her up too. She has some really good advice for getting back in action.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. David. Favorite book?
I'll fall in the same category. I'm not much of a book reader, but I love documentaries, and I just watched the Kipchoge Sub 2 documentary, and that is really an inspiring motivation for the human race. That all things are possible, and for him to reach that feat was pretty amazing.
All right. Elliot Kipchoge, right? Broke the 2-hour barrier for marathons. Yeah, I love documentaries too. In fact, that's my nerd status. When I'm on Netflix or Hulu, I go straight to documentaries. I like musical documentaries too. Some great bands, Bee Gees, INXS, etc. All right, Brianna.
I also don't read running books very often, so
running books.
Yeah, so I think the thing I enjoyed the most in the last few years was the Harry Potter series. My dad and I actually read them all together, and then we went and saw all the movies together. So it was not only just a great escape, but also just fun to have that experience with my dad.
Oh, I love that. I actually miss reading to my kids. They're 16 and 18 right now. And sometimes I say, do you want me to read to you? And they say, no way. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. All right. Going back to running and racing. All right. Just you guys, some of you are speedsters, some of you not so much. So how would you best describe yourself as a runner? Friendly, fashionable, or fast? Friendly, fashionable, or fast? So I'm going to start with you, Yvette.
I would say fashionable.
Fashionable, and how come? What do you think?
Fashionable. Do you want? Basically, before I go on a run, I have to make sure I match. I'm not fast. I just love the long distance, but I think I want to look good while I'm running.
I like that. No, do you wear skirts or cute shorts and tank tops?
No, I wear shorts. They're running shorts.
Okay. All right. Me too. All right. Dave Koontz.
I am definitely friendly. I have been running with 3 clubs in the Long Beach area for probably 20 plus years. And about 15 years ago, I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to learn the name of one new person each week. And I found that I was targeting 50 at the end. As it turned out, I had a better capacity than that. I was learning the names of probably 5 people per week. And at one point, the running club was up to 600 people. I probably knew the names of 550 of them. I still make it a point to introduce myself to a new runner, to learn their name, use it frequently as I cheer them on during a run, and still trying to be as friendly as and open as we can to welcome the people into the running community.
I love that. I love that. And, you know, one of the really nice things is when people show up alone to a race, you know, it's one of my priorities on the microphone is to make sure everyone feel welcome. But I feel like all the runners know who's alone and start adopting the newbies and interacting, making friends. It's very, very sweet. So you're such a great symbol of that. All right, Lindsey, friendly, fast, or fashionable?
Oh, I'm so excited about this question. I'm definitely the fashionable one. I will either have a sparkly skirt or bright colors on. I just can't help it.
And do you put a picture of your outfit on the internet the night?
I do. There is a flat Lindsey that goes around.
I think that is so funny. It's almost like a warning. Hey, everybody, this is what I'm wearing tomorrow.
Watch out.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I can't wait to see you.
Nice.
2 races. Brianna, I feel like I know the answer, but go for it.
Yeah, I'd have to say fashionable. Everyone knows my compression socks and my skirts every single race. So you will definitely spot me in bright colors.
You know what? I feel like I associate you with donuts. Do you have donut skirts?
I have 3 donut skirts.
Yeah, okay. And that's weird to associate a runner with that. Someone I see at races, I probably should not conjure up visions of donuts every time. But yeah, you do dress the part. I actually need to work on that. I get a little, I don't know. I'm not so creative with the clothing. So you'll have to help me pick an outfit one day. Do you also do the flat, Brianna?
Always.
It's an obligation.
Yeah.
And as some of the folks have noticed, a couple of our guests are having some technical difficulties popping in and out. So as you come back in, we'll just bring you back in and move on with it. All right. So what is the farthest distance you have run on a race, and what's your favorite distance? So back up to you, Lindsey. Farthest distance and favorite distance.
My furthest was 18 miles on the trail, and my favorite is the half marathon. I think it is a challenge for me still, and I have to go through the training. And I don't know, I just love being out there and doing those races.
Yeah, I agree. And I love trails too. Do you do a lot of trail races?
I do. I try and mix it up a little bit, and being out in Orange County, we're so lucky to have some great trails to run on. So, and I do use that part as my training because getting up those hills, it's a good leg workout.
Yeah, and it's really good for your hips and knees too. It's a good effort stabilizing. So, high five to the trails. Dave Koontz.
Well, I've run over 40 marathons in my life, and I've never had any ambition to take a step further.
Okay.
Probably my favorite is the half marathon, because you really have to be honest in training for it, but you don't have to devote your life to finishing a marathon. So half marathon, definitely my favorite.
Okay, that's 2 for half marathon. Yvette, I see you're having some technical difficulties.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. So
okay, and what am I doing wrong?
Okay, that's perfect. There you go. Go ahead and stay there. So what is the farthest you've ever run, and what is your favorite distance?
Farthest was the 26 miles. That was my first. My favorite, I would say, right now will be half. But I'm willing to do the full size. The full race, the full 26 again, because it was an amazing feeling. Yes.
I'm looking forward to that feeling. Brianna, what about you?
My furthest was LA Marathon 2019, where I got to high five you at the finish line.
Yeah.
And I realized it really solidified for me that the half is my distance. I think, like Dave, it's enough where you feel really accomplished, but you can get on with your day and feel good and be all recovered and keep going about it.
All right. So that gives me a spur of the moment question. What is your advice for me? So I'm doing a full in 12 days. What is your top advice for someone running so far?
One foot in front of the other. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Well, one of the things that I always find out when I start to feel the pain or anguish in a marathon is to remember to smile, because just smiling makes you feel better, and it really freaks everybody out around you. So they all wonder, why is she feeling so good, or why is he feeling so good? And you'd be surprised just how much better you feel if you just force yourself to smile.
Okay.
Pretty soon you'll run through that dead spot and you'll be smiling because you're actually happy to be running.
Now, is it okay if I smile and I curse simultaneously?
If you can do that, God bless you.
Okay. I imagine that might be my technique at some point. The smile will stick, but there might be some vulgarities. Sorry in advance, Boston. Brianna, advice for me on a full.
I'd say find a friend, especially in that last 10K. If that's where the hardest part is. So if you pick up a random stranger and you can help each other along, I think that makes the last bit so much easier.
All right, that's a good idea. And Yvette, what about you? Advice for me? Oh, we lost you. We can't hear you, Yvette. That's very sad. No. Yeah, we'll try again. All right, you're not going to be able to give me your advice. We'll have to get it off screen. All right, going back to running again. So where is the weirdest place you've ever chafed? Lindsey.
Oh. Gosh, I think they're all kind of the normal ones, like arms and, legs. Yeah, I don't think I have a weird one.
Okay, so, and that's arms rubbing on your sports bra, on your t-shirt.
Yeah, for sure. Like kind of right there, and definitely like the thighs.
Did you solve that problem? Did you
I use I think it's Body Glide that I'm currently using, and it's kind of like rubbing on deodorant on those areas. And I used it at Surf City, and I had no problems.
Okay, and it worked. Brianna, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. It's kind of the underarms where your tank top and your arms meet, and then sometimes on the inner thighs, depending on which shorts I'm wearing. So I'm a huge fan of Body Glide. Apply it liberally.
Okay. Now, do you apply it kind of everywhere preemptively?
Anywhere that you think might rub, anywhere that there might be friction, anywhere where your clothes are a little tighter. So even like waistbands, that could be one that could be tricky depending on what kind of shorts you're wearing.
Okay. And Shelly pipes out with bra line shapes. Yes. Oh, so that's like underneath bra line. That sounds uncomfortable. That sounds very uncomfortable. Dave, what about you? Weirdest place you've ever chafed?
It's going to be funny, but people who know me know that I run with a camera and I'm forever taking pictures. And I usually wear a strap around my hand so that if I were to drop the camera, it just falls about that far. And I've actually had chafing on the back of my hand from the little strap that I use to hold the camera.
That is very funny, very unusual. And you do take lots of photos and fantastic.
I do take a lot of photos, all of runners.
I love it. And announcers.
Yeah, and announcers.
Yeah, I've been the great beneficiary of your photos. All right, Yvette, can we hear you? Oh, we still cannot hear you, Yvette. This is very sad. She's gone again.
Oh.
Right, I don't know if it's going to work out with Yvette. This poor thing. All right, hold on. Shelly wants to say, just wait till I hit the shower after you chase. Yes. So this is
a shower surprise.
Mm-hmm.
My chafing nightmare is I had a Don Joy brace, like a knee brace, custom made with the plastic parts on the side and Velcro straps holding it on. And one of the cushions underneath the rough Velcro detached. And I ran a whole half marathon with the rough Velcro scratching across the back of my thigh. And I had to choose whether I would just feel the pain of my skin being burned or rubbed off or the pain of my knee hurting. And so I chose to wear the brace and deal with that. And I remember getting into the shower at my hotel, just squealing like a pig. It was not fun at all. So the shower. I don't know if there's a way around that either. Is there? You just got to suck it up, don't you?
Maybe Vaseline. or something to kind of give a barrier?
Perhaps somebody's got to come up with a product for that. Can we hear you, Yvette?
Okay, can you hear me? I had to allow the microphone, and I didn't do that earlier. Okay, but I'm back.
All right, there she is. All right, Yvette. So we were asking, where's the weirdest place you've ever chafed?
I would say, thighs, like between like.
In
right,
between,
right there, by my thighs, inner thighs. Yes, and it was uncomfortable. And now, ever since then, I make sure that I put something there so it doesn't do that again, because it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm thinking about people like me or others who maybe haven't chafed before, but perhaps it's a good idea to just put some Body Glide on just in case.
I do, and I also what I also use too is Vaseline. I put it on my toes, because when I was running the full marathon, I actually had blisters on my two toes, and that was painful. And I continued to run. I didn't stop. I ran like a duck, but I was running. But ever since then, I make sure I put Vaseline or I put something, because they rub when you're running. So that's very important too. But yes, I recommend using Vaseline or something on your toes. And don't run when you socks.
Do you put the Vaseline between your toes or under your over?
I pretty much I'm so afraid since then that I put it. I completely put all my toes. I just make sure that they're lubricant before I run.
And does anybody else do that? No, just you.
Not done that.
No, just me, because I had 4 toes after my marathon.
Yeah, I've lost some toenails. Toenails are.
Oh yeah.
Got to say goodbye to your toenails. At least one. Which toenail do you guys lose during a race? Half marathon or more? Lindsay?
I have never lost one.
Oh.
I don't know what my secret is. Maybe I'm not sure.
That's crazy. What about you, Brianna?
I lost once one of my middle toenails, but it didn't come off until another one kind of grew underneath it, and then it popped off.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a happy ending. Dave?
I don't think that I've ever lost a toenail, but I always buy my shoes a half size larger than the street shoes that I wear. That's the reason they always tell you use your thumbnail as a guide. There should be a thumbnail's width between your toes and the front of the shoe. And I've always had success with that, so I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
I do that too.
What about you, Yvette? What have you lost toenails? Which one?
I did. I lost not the little pinky one, the one next to it. It was painful. It was when I was training for the full marathon. I was freaking out. I didn't know what was happening to my nail until I read into it, and they said it's a runner's issue. So,
it is.
Yeah.
I lose my pointer toes. I know they're probably not called pointer toes in science land, but they're pointer toes to me. And they're the longer ones. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
On the toe chart, my pointer toes are the longer ones. So my left pointer toe, not so cute. I'm in Florida, and we're supposed to, by law, wear sandals or flip-flops 342 days of the year, and right now they're not so cute. So very sad.
Yeah, I don't think we believe in pedicures. I can't have pretty nails on my toes because they just come off.
Yeah, but that's a good plan for after the OC Marathon, is everybody goes and gets pedicures and
yes,
look cute again. All right, so what do you guys like to eat before a race? So race morning, you get up, and what do you have? Lindsay, let's start with you.
I'm pretty basic. I do toast and peanut butter. That is my go-to. It's easy on my stomach, and I usually don't have any issues with it. It's enough to get me until I have to use, maybe some goo or something.
Okay, Brianna?
Peanut butter toast and bananas.
Toast bananas, Yvette?
Same, peanut butter, banana, and toast or half of a bagel.
Okay, Dave?
Well, when we had the sports nutritionist on a few weeks back, she was saying that you should have some of that protein, that peanut butter. I haven't tried it. I'm always a toasted bagel kind of guy, but I think I'm going to start experimenting on training runs with the peanut butter and see what that does.
Yeah, I use cream cheese on bagels, and you still get something from cream cheese. Not as much, but enough. And then what do you like to eat during a race? So half marathon or full when you really need that added nutrition? Let's start with you, Yvette.
I found myself during the full LA, of course, they feed you everything. It's amazing. I stay away from the hot dogs, even though they smell good. I was just sticking with oranges. And that's pretty much it. And then, they give you, I wasn't trying to eat too much because I was afraid of, how it was going to affect me. But I was just oranges and pretzels. They were giving pretzels, and the salt was kind of helping me. So that's what I was munching on.
And then
I typically go for the chews. That's my favorite. Although I have to say, when I was training for my full, my club turned me on to salted potatoes. So if they're ever out there, I will take them, but I don't pack them myself.
Okay, so because I'm waiting here for everyone in Boston, including ask them to bring me chips because I go craving chips when I get far into my potatoes.
Sorry, I missed part of that.
Sorry, what about your potatoes chips, or explain that?
I think for me, it was nice because it's both a carbohydrate source, but the salt just kind of, especially when you're running for multiple hours, I found switching to the savory was also nice, and it also helped replenish my electrolytes in addition to what I was drinking.
Well, I guess the thing is, in what form is your potato? So it's not a potato chip?
No, they were cubed. My club would put out trays of salted cubed potatoes.
Wow. Okay. Cooked? Are they baked?
Cooked, yeah.
Huh. I like that very much.
I know people who carry them. I don't have that much prep personally where I would bake them ahead and put them in a bag, but if someone I know is offering them, I would take that.
Absolutely. And Shelly Merrill has another great idea. Peanut butter filled pretzels. Yes. Absolutely. Agreed. Dave, on the course, what are you eating?
Well, I carry a 20-ounce bottle of water with me, and I've been mixing it with a Science and Sport drink mix that has got both carbohydrates and electrolytes in it. And I also used to carry the goos or the gels or whatever you want to call them, not to be brand specific. And I found that in the last 2 years or so, I've developed a caffeine sensitivity to those. So I found one, and I really don't know the name of it, but it's got an applesauce base to it. And it is really good, and I don't get headaches from it. So if you're going to run with any kind of packaged product, be sure that you try it out a couple of times on your training runs, so you're not in for quite a surprise.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, so many people love their gels. They love it. They thrive on the gels. And then so many people have had that first time horrible experience where they've ended up in the porta potty mid-race, and they weren't so happy about that. So like everything, don't do anything new on race day. Make sure you practice it all at home. Yeah, smart. What about you, Lindsay? What do you have on course?
I just stick to the basics. Usually we'll just do a chew. I do carry water. I like my water. I like to hydrate. So I will just I'm usually about 6 miles in, about halfway in the half marathon, I'll do a chew. And then sometimes around mile 10 or so, I'll feel like I'll need another one just to get those last few miles in.
Okay. Do any of you do salt tabs for a full?
I actually had the salt packages, the little packages.
Yeah.
And I kept putting, when they will give me the water to drink at the water stations, I actually will pour that little salt. So I did that in mustard for some reason. I was chewing on mustard.
Mustard.
One of my actually coaches told me that mustard helps you with cramps, especially after running like more than 15 miles. So I follow his direction, and thank God I did it with no cramps. So maybe it was the mustard.
Mustard is right up there with pickle juice. I don't think the general society at large would approve of runners if they knew what we were doing at mile. Oh, just eat mustard. There goes Yvette with her mustard.
Yes.
I would get mustard everywhere. Don't you think you'd have it on your shirt? And
No, I actually just these little packages that they give you. I had a couple of those, and I would just kind of like goose, like I would just chew on them.
I'm gonna have bad dreams about that. That is hilarious. It's so funny, but really clever too. And I'm sure somebody out there watching is going to start.
Shelly does.
Shelly, yeah, Shelly's like, I eat mustard packets. Well, I'm doing soy sauce because that's also very salty. I'm going to find all the salty sauces and just have a flavorful race next time I go run. So, off that subject, so what is one thing you wish you knew on your first race? If you could go back and tell your novice, your virgin race runner self this tip, what would it be? Dave?
Oh, that was a long time ago. It was actually what I call an accidental marathon. I was supposed to run as part of a 3-person marathon relay. And the Wednesday before the marathon relay, one of the runners dropped out. And the night before, the second one dropped out. And I expected to just run the first third. If I felt okay, I'd go on to the second third and catch the bus back. Well, by the time I finished the second third, the bus had not arrived, but the rain did. And they told me it was going to be an hour before the bus got there. So I just kept running onto the end. And I think the one thing that I learned is you don't have to do the 20 milers to get a marathon done. The longest I had done before that was a 10-mile run, and that is still my PR. So
Wow.
You don't know what your body is capable of doing until you ask it to do more.
So Dave, tell me, so you say you don't have to do those super long runs for a marathon. If you were going to do a marathon in December, how far would be your longest run in advance?
Well, that's funny that you say that because I am doing the Honolulu Marathon in December, and I don't plan on going much more than a half marathon.
Okay. All right. And the race energy will carry you?
I think that once you get past the half marathon distance, it's more mental than it is physical. I think if you can run a half marathon, you can run a marathon.
Yes.
All you need to do is be ready for your body to start arguing with you about your ability to complete it. And you just have to continue to fight with yourself to win those arguments. Because everything is going to complain, whether it's your neck, your back, your knees, your elbows, whatever.
Yeah.
Just keep winning the arguments and you'll win the race.
I love that. Great advice. And I do think the caveat to if you can do a half, you can do a full. If you can do a half well, if you can do a half and feel good about it, if you can do 6 and suffer through to 13, you're probably not ready for a full. But if you're good at a half marathon, you can probably finish at 26. I believe that for sure. All right, Brianna, what would you tell your novice runner self?
Trust the training. I know I was really nervous my first time, and I didn't realize that I was more prepared than I thought I was.
I like that. I like that. So in your first race, was it a full, a half?
It was a half.
Okay. And it felt great?
It did. It did. So much so that I signed up for my second half 4 days later.
I love it. I love it. Yvette?
Okay. Yeah. My first half, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't training. And I do believe what Dave says, that it's all mental. Like your body will fight you, but you can do it. It's doable. And I am very proud of myself because with that training, I was able to complete my half marathon back in 2017. So, and ever since then, that's when I knew I was capable to run a full because I did a half with no problem. I paced myself, and I don't even think I had the right shoes, but I did it. Yeah. So I like you said, I think on mile 10, just like mile 22, is your mind is going to start fighting, and you just have to tell yourself, I can do this, and continue.
Love it. Love it. Lindsey?
I think in my early years, I kind of just, I'll just run, kind of follow the mileage on the training plans. But I didn't really do the hill repeats or the intervals, and I didn't want to do the strength training at all. I have definitely now added all that in. I actually like doing that. I've fallen in love with weight training and stuff as well. So it's kind of fun to mix it up. And I feel like I don't have to run as much mileage if I do all of that extra kind of little training things that are in there besides just running the mileage.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. And I teach a strength training for runners clinic, and I always ask my group because runners tend to run. Runners say, I have to run. I only run. This is what I do. And they negate the strength training and ignore the stretching. But, you know, the main question I ask is, on any given day, doing any given thing, would you rather be stronger or weaker?
Nice.
Stronger. And is there any benefit to being weaker? No, you know, running is jarring, and you're taking your poor little legs and crash. Every time you plant your foot on the ground, you're crashing about 3 times your body weight there. And so do you have enough strength in your hips to hold your femur in place? You know, that's the longest bone in your body. It's a big old bone. And if your hips and glutes aren't strong and powerful, that's going to lead to pain in those hips and those knees and your low back and your calves. I mean, it really trickle down nightmare if you're not being a well-rounded athlete. So that's a really good pointer. I'm glad you brought that up. All right. So next up, if you guys were stuck listening to just one song for an entire half marathon, we're going to say this year, we're going to make you pick a song and listen to it over and over and over between the start and finish line. What song would that be, Yvette?
A song I usually run with one song that makes me continue to run is I think it's Tom Petty by Running Down the Drain or something like that.
The Dream, Tom Petty, yes.
Every time I run with that song, it motivates me, and I run. So I love listening to that.
That's a great one. I love it. Again, Tom Petty's actually from my hometown here in Gainesville.
Ah, nice.
Very proud of Tom Petty. All right, yes. Brianna.
Today I'm feeling ABBA, so I'm going to go with Dancing Queen.
Nice. Yeah, that would be fun. That's a nice, easy song. Lindsay?
Bohemian Rhapsody. It's my favorite song, and all the different things, you know, it kind of gets you distracted, and you can just keep going.
Absolutely. And it's such a long song that you probably would only need to listen to it 3 times.
For sure.
Marathon, it'd be over. Okay. I like that. Dave?
Well, Lindsay just took my choice, so I'll go with my second choice, and that would be David Bowie and Annie Lennox singing Under Pressure.
Another good one. All right. On the flip side, what do you like least about running? Brianna?
Oh, that's a hard one. Hills.
What did you say?
Hills. I do them, but I don't enjoy them.
That's fair. Hills, jerk hills. Yvette?
I will go with hills. I hate hills, but I do them.
Do you like
love-hate relationship?
Do you like running down the hills?
No, I like running down the hills, yes, but not going up the hill.
Yeah. I'm really good at downhill. I hate to brag, but Dave?
Oh, by far, injuries suck. And it comes from several different reasons, one of which is overuse. So if you're not smart in your training, you wind up injured, and then you can't run anymore. And that hurts as much as whatever it is that you just hurt is preventing you from running.
Yeah, injuries suck. Lindsay?
I'll have to agree with Dave. Injuries, I've been dealing with planners, and it's sort of in and out, and it's hard when it's a painful day and you just can't get out there, or you have to cancel training and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so a lot of people out in the internet land think that a runner has to run every single day to prepare for a race. How many days a week do you run on average in preparation for this coming half marathon, Yvette?
I was running, right now I haven't run because of my injury, but I was doing 3 days a week. And 1 day a week was walking, and the other day was riding my bike.
Okay.
So I was alternating.
Okay. 5 days of cardio, 3 running, 1 walking, 1 riding your bike.
Yes.
Love it. Brianna?
I'd say I typically run 3 days a week, but I do walk for active recovery on my non-run days.
I mean, Lindsey?
About 3 days. I do like to do yoga like on the rest days. And I do that strength training weight day as well. So there's usually about 1 actual rest day. But I may do some yoga just to kind of stretch the body as well.
Okay. And Dave?
Well, I found that work was getting in the way of my training schedule, so I gave that work thing up. And now I can run 5 days a week. I usually take 2 days a week off. Of the 5 days I run, 1 is a serious workout. That's on a Saturday. That's the long runs.
Mm-hmm.
The other 4 are social runs. They're just for fun with people that I enjoy running with.
I love it. I love it. And Mr. Novotny, the other half of Team Noisy, who will be at the OC 5K November 6th. So we're super excited about that. He says hills are wonderful. And he's a weirdo. So everybody disown Rudy. We no longer like you, Rudy Novotny. Goodbye. He is such a weirdo. He has his PR for marathon at Big Sur, which just tells you he's wrong. You shouldn't associate it with a person like that, right? Because if you're that good at hills, we don't need you. That's
no
longer our friend. Although he's my best friend, but not if he keeps bragging about his hill success. Okay. So if you guys were going to run a race, and I'm talking feet on the ground with a superhero, like Marvel, DC superhero, which one would it be? Dave?
I'm going to use the Flash as a pacer.
Good choice. Good choice. Well, the deal with the pacer is you can't just be next to them and keep up. You got to be prepared,
I was going to draft off of them.
I'll take it. All right, Lindsey?
I think I would go with Wonder Woman. I think she'd be a good supporter, and I just kind of like the ladies kicking butt kind of gals.
Yeah. Brianna?
Wonder Woman. She was my favorite starting when I was like 5. Linda Carter version.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, gal's amazing too. I love announcing the Wonder Woman races too. It's just such a wonderful vibe, and all the red and the blue and the happiness. Good choices. Yvette?
I would say Batman. I know he doesn't run, but if he's running, I will be chasing him. So
okay, I like that too. I was actually thinking Thor. Because
yes, he is.
Thor.
Yes.
I would do an ultra that day if I got to run with Thor. All right. Have you all planned out your finish line pose? Not you, Dave, because you're not running the OC, but your Honolulu marathon. We'll ask you that. What is your go-to finish line pose? Brianna?
Got to run with your hands up.
That's right. Yes. Yvette?
I will say that same thing. I'm done. I did it.
2 hands. Lindsey?
I have 2. I have the woohoo, I did it, and then I'm a thumbs upper too.
All right. And Dave?
I think the one favorite Kodak moment I had was my son, who is now 40, and I ran the Los Angeles Marathon when he was 18, and we crossed hand in hand. And that's one of those photos suitable for framing. But yeah, I guess just the arms up in the air kind of thing.
Now, have you framed that photo?
No, he has it all over his social, so I haven't framed it.
Yeah, so I think you should get it framed if it's worthy. And then mine, I do like the hands up, but I go with the number 1 finger, way up high. And I'm people believe I'm fast. I don't know why. I've never I've never suggested I was fast, I'm not, but with the number one finger up, everybody thinks I won the race and congratulate me on my victory. So the number one finger, and I'm going to share that with everybody. If you would like people to think that you took home the big prize purse and the whatever at your race, number one finger up high. Now, I do want to mention that it is illegal to cross the finish line looking at your watch. You will be disqualified if you do that. If you have a sad face, if you're not paying attention to your happy announcer, disqualified immediately, right?
Well, definitely.
Those are the rules. Those are the rules. Okay, back to you. I'm going to give you two pieces of running gear you cannot live without on race day besides your shoes. Brianna.
Compression socks and sunglasses.
Sunglasses. And why do you like wearing compression socks?
I found that they help my legs feel more fresh during the race. I also have quicker recovery. The ones I wear have fun patterns, so that's kind of a side benefit.
Mm-hmm. All right, stylish. Yvette?
Hat. I have to have a hat on. I can't do glasses because then they just come off because I'm sweating, but a hat will be, I cannot run without it.
Okay. And then what other, you got two things besides your shoes.
Oh, yes. And my compressor socks too, because I feel like she's saying it helps, I get right now, especially because of my calf, I've been using them and they help me. They just that tightness. And actually, let me go back. The key tape. I am like addicted to that tape now. That helps too. I had that on my calf and under my knee, just in case.
And did you guys have to get used to wearing your compression socks, or did they feel good right away? Brianna.
I think the first time I tried them on,
I think at the beginning I had to a little bit get used to it, but they felt good. They just feel great.
Okay, Brianna.
I think the first time I tried them on, it was a different sensation, but now it just kind of feels like a hug.
Oh, that's hug for your legs. Lindsay, two pieces of equipment besides your shoes you can't leave home without on race day.
Definitely a hat for the sun, and there's a couple. Probably because I like my water and my pack, and I don't like to have things in hand, so I like to stuff my phone and inhaler and all that in there. So my running vest as well.
So you run a race, you will come to the OC half wearing a running vest.
I do. I have one. It has the water, and I can put the phone, inhaler, and the keys and all that stuff, so my hands are all free.
And it doesn't bounce around on you. It doesn't chafe.
It doesn't bother me. Sometimes there is the chafing, body glide, but usually it's okay. And I train with it, so I'm kind of used to it.
I love it. I wish I could, because it certainly would be nice to have extra water. I'm very finicky, apparently, but that's fantastic. I think more people should do it. Dave?
Definitely the 20-ounce water bottle, and I usually, in a marathon, will refill that about 2 or 3 times. I go through a lot of water. And the other thing is a road ID. Just in case I crash and burn, I want people to know who it is that's laying on the ground and how to get in contact with people I love and cherish.
I have one too.
And Brianna has one too? Okay, well, I need to get on it then. I didn't even think of that. That's great. That's right. And I see them at all the expos. I've never considered getting one, but brilliant for certain. All right, do we take candy and snacks from strangers on the side of the course that are not official aid people when you're running? Candy from strangers, yes or no? Brianna?
Yes.
Yes. Lindsay?
It wasn't candy. It was a pretzel.
Or snacks, yeah, whatever.
Counts.
Snacks from strangers. Yvette?
Yes, I do.
And Dave?
No, I never have.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I took an ice cream cone once.
That was
Somebody was
fun.
giving out ice cream cones. I thought, wow, that's a really good idea. And yeah, it was good. In the middle of the race.
I say, heck yeah. If somebody's going to give me something or other that I want at the time, all bets are off. All the rules about poison and germs, I don't care, right? You just, yes, please. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And Shelly too. She's coming at us with the garment and the boat ID. Fantastic. So listen, we're about to wrap things up, and we have 2 giveaways tonight.
Ooh.
Nice.
No, but you know what? I didn't even think of what. I didn't think of a Q&A. Well, to take
A little bit off and on.
Of passengers during a race, but sure. I just need to get mile 26. If there's just 0.2 left to the marathon, then all bets are off. We can have whatever we want, right? Is that safe?
Yes.
Okay, you can get as drunk as you want, 0.2 miles out from the finish line. Nothing wrong with that. All right, we need to do a giveaway. And Brianna, what I want you to do, this is going to be interesting because I don't have a good question. Brianna, do you see the private chat button on the side of the screen?
I do.
All right, so I need you to write down a number between 1 and 20.
Okay.
Okay, now for our audience, we're going to give away a free registration to this year's Run for a Cause. It's our holiday theme race in December.
Nice.
And y'all need to pick a number between 1 and 20. Now, I'm going to tell you that I get your comments in a particular order, so I will read them as I see them. Sometimes someone claims they posted it first, and I didn't receive it first. So I can only go by what I received first. But use the comment section and pick a number between 1 and 20, my friends. If you pick what the number Brianna picks. All right, Jody says 17. No. Kelly says 7. No. Lisa says 16. No. Warren Ward says 13. Is that it, Brianna?
It is.
It's 13.
Yay! Congrats.
He gets to run with his hat backwards.
You know, Warren is so great. He's always at the OC. Such a delightful guy. And I met him mid-race. We were at Disneyland running quite a few years ago, and I had my squeaky knee brace. And Warren had just come out of, or just recovered from a heart attack. And so we made friends on course, and he's been one of my favorite runners since. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Can't wait to see you in all your festive holiday gear and that Santa bib, because Santa is the best. All right, and now we have another giveaway. And Lindsay, I want you to use the private chat to pick a number between 20 and 40. And the winner of this, and it can't be you, Warren, it has to be a new person. The winner, don't start guessing yet. Between 20 and 40, I got to get Lindsay's number. Winner of this competition will win a free entry to the 2022 OC Marathon Week for the 20th. All right,
Wow.
Here they let her rip. A number between 20 and 40. Nathan says 21. No. Bill Perez, 30. No. Keep going, team. Lisa Schultz, 28. No. Shelly Merrill, 26. No. Keep them coming, and you can have a second guess. I'm just accepting guesses until someone gets it right, because we like giving stuff away, don't we, Ambassador?
Yes.
They're slow. They're slow to guess. Lisa's coming back in with 39. No. Kind of dancing around it here. Shelly, no. Marie, 32. No. Michelle, thank you. We think you are great too. Thank you. Keep it coming. Oh, we got 2 37s, both wrong. Rest 40. Lisa 31. No. Oh.
I think they've guessed every number around it.
He's getting close.
Ooh.
Now 38. Oh, boom. Deeper
34.
Yay!
Yes, she won.
Very stressful. Congratulations, Dean Ray. She was definitely going to be here anyways. 2022 OC Marathon. You get to pick a race. Courtesy of Gary Kutcher and Kelsey Peterson, our race crew at the OC Marathon. So, folks, before we wrap things up, and you all have been great, I want you to do two things. I want you to use. Do you have a comment section ability to put in your OC your handle, your Instagram handle?
I don't see one.
Right, Instagram handle. Brianna, where can people find you?
Sorry, cut out.
What is your Instagram handle, Brianna?
It's Matt Miles Medals. Matt like a yoga mat. Miles Medals, like the race plane.
Yeah, and Instagram page is fantastic. Yvette, where can people find you on Instagram?
It is Yvette_outdoors4.
Outdoors and the number 4.
Number 4.
Great. And when you're done, you should go to the comment section on Facebook and post that in there so people can find you. Lindsay?
I am on Instagram, LC_scampers.
Scampers. Okay. Dave?
I'm on Instagram as Timeless Runner.
Oh, easy. Timeless runner.
Hey.
Well done. And I am fitness, easy to find everywhere. And folks, we're really excited to see you at the race weekend too. You guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Ambassador Highlight Show, and to all of our other ambassadors, we really appreciate what you do. Sorry we couldn't get everyone on tonight, but I think we had a good reflection, a good reflective group, and yeah, it's going to be such a fun weekend. Do your part, keep spreading the word about the OC as you do, and countdown's on. We got a little over a month, right?
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, November 6th and 7th, folks. If you haven't already registered, go to ocmarathon.com. And there, point to the web. There we go. Point. Other way. See, it's not so easy. Is it? That's right.
Good luck, everyone.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck. See you there.
Yay!
Okay. See ya.
You guys are